First, I want to thank Ravi, Colette, and the Hansra team for inviting me to share Growing Home's journey towards being a conscious. A bit about Growing Home. We're the only USDA certified organic farm located in Inglewood. We use our farm for workforce development and food access. And if you want to learn more about Growing Home, please visit our website at www.growinghomeinc.org. So the journey. It's been a 2-year journey to date, and admittedly, a lifelong journey. In 2022, the first group of Growing Home staff completed their Conscious Ambassador of Trauma Informed Care certification. This was a journey that started with a realization that we had a culture problem. This is a journey that began that we're in the business of people serving. And being a people server, we had to get better about how we communicate with each other and how we serve. And the Conscious Ambassador Trauma Informed Care certification started us on that process. But we recognized that that was not the end, but just the beginning. We realized that professional development was part of it, learning was part of it. And so the team embarked on this MBTI assessment, in many world Myers-Briggs assessment. This allowed us to really delve into deep self-awareness and understanding and appreciating the difference in each other and in the people that we serve. This was a huge achievement for us. It allowed many of us to have a lot of aha moments about ourselves and our team members. We were also embarking on a strategic plan, and it was very important that we started this process of Conscious Ambassador before we started our strategic plan. So unlike most strategic plans, it wasn't just a task list. It was literally how do we develop our priorities, our theory of change, and mostly our values with conscious ambassadorship in mind. Everything we did through this whole process that started in July and ended in December, our values, the lessons learned from the conscious ambassador was intertwined into building this strategic plan. Now, that was another step. But again, it's not enough to just write it on paper or give it lip service, but it's to continue to build and implement it into our everyday life. So then we embarked on another professional development, leadership training, because ultimately leaders set the tone. As a team, we came up with the values, but leaders are so important to ensuring that we walk the talk. And that was the training was called Creating Conditions for Strategic Organizational Culture. And so all the leadership went through that, and we had our marching order. But again, we now had to reflect and check back in to see how we were doing. We've always done an all staff survey, but this time we threw the old survey out the door. We took some stuff from it, yes. And then we developed, working with Hansra, utilized the Hansra's conscious culture assessment. Oh, it's a long assessment, I must tell you, but all the staff enjoyed it. It helped us to sort of reflect not only about how you feel about your job, but how are we doing with this whole culture thing? And so we had some celebrating to do. We did some amazing things, and we also had some we got to work on some stuff. And so we created an action plan from that conscious culture assessment. Then in 2024, we did our second conscious culture assessment. The good news is we had data from 2023 to compare it to. So we saw where we were in line as 2023. We saw where we were backsliding a bit, and we also saw areas of growth. And again, next step, create an action plan. It's not enough to just do the things great, but you have to create plans to make sure that we keep doing those things great. And also the things that we weren't doing so great in, now building a plan to make sure that we address those issues. Again, professional development. We did our DISC assessment this year during our all staff retreat. This is another type of personality assessment that help improve teamwork, communication, and productivity in the workplace. Oh, was this a great opportunity for the staff to get together? And again, a way to see themselves in their full humanity and for them to see their colleagues in their full humanity. So we're ready to build on the things we've learned through the DISC assessment. We look forward to using the tools Hansra has provided us that will allow us to check in on a daily basis and utilize the lessons learned from this assessment. From the whole process, we created a staff recognition program. We got these little trophies that each department has, and when they see one of their colleagues doing a great job within those values, give them a trophy. In addition, we started this since last year. In our all staff meetings, we go through the values. One person picks a value and reflects on it and how it showed up in their lives that week or the week before, and how it showed up in our programming. Again, the important thing is not just to do these things and put them on the shelf, right? We're now doing our performance evaluation and self-assessments. The values and the conscious ambassador is part of that assessment. We continue to, again, build on it. Ongoing, we know we're going to keep doing our annual self-assessments, our performance evaluation, our conscious culture assessment, and most importantly, we're going to keep our commitment to a lifelong learning of being a conscious ambassador. Now, some lessons learned. Or did we learn the importance of self-reflection? I also put org reflection there. So important during our retreats, our all staff meeting, we as an organization, as individuals, spend time to reflect on how we're doing as a team, and how we're doing as individuals. We also learned the importance of circling back. It's not enough that when staff comes to us, we say we're working on it, but really communicating what that working on it looks like. Circling back is also an important tool for conflict resolution. Someone might have slighted you that morning. The importance of circling back to that person, especially after self-reflection. Another lesson learned is the role of bias and grace. Bias, we all have to acknowledge we show up with things happening in our lives outside of work. Whether it's that I didn't have enough sleep last night, how you were raised, all these things affect who you are, and they also affect your colleagues. So give each other grace when things aren't working the way we want it to work, or people didn't approach us the way we would like them to approach us. And most important, again, lifelong journey of learning. Some of the key impacts today is help us improve our communication with our colleagues, with our team, between leadership and staff. It's help improve how we resolve conflicts. It's help us improve our programming, because it's not just about what we do internally, it's how we deal with our participants in our community. Grace, grace, grace. That's our word. And mostly we look forward to seeing how it increase our retention. The staff, once they believe in this and they've bought onto it and everybody understands that this is part of who we are. And that's also important. I forgot to mention, every new staff receives the certification. So it's not just the staff that did it in 2022. Every new staff to date, we have invested in them receiving the certification because they're part of the whole organization. Now I want to share some feedback from some of the staff of how this process has helped them. One person said, I uncovered my unconscious bias I had. Oh, self-reflection. It reinforced my own leadership style that is in line with this training. Beautiful. It reinforced techniques for coping and helping others to cope during traumatic situations. It has forced me to take a closer look on how I respond in situations that make me uncomfortable. It has also made me more aware of techniques that I can practice versus just shutting down. And these are just a few of the quotes. Now, again, I would love to share with you more. I look forward to your questions at the end of this presentation and understand that I'm here anytime you need to talk more in detail about the Conscious Ambassador's journey. Thank you.